Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the movie. Can we get a round of applause? So, as Patrick said, I am a UN rep for the Jane Goodall Institute, and here this week as a national director for Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots, and excited to be with our National Youth Leadership Council as they attend the International Youth Assembly. One of the things that might seem a little strange is how we can go from talking about the MDGs and post-2015 to a movie like Chimpanzee. And the really neat thing about Chimpanzee is how it had such a huge conservation impact for chimpanzees in the wild. I work for the Jane Goodall Institute. We're continuing every single day the work that Dr. Jane Goodall has done ever since 1960 when she started working with chimpanzees. And as a result of the film, nearly 130,000 acres of habitat has been conserved. JGI has been able to educate nearly 60,000 children in Africa about chimpanzee conservation and what it takes to do that in a holistic way like we do, and also to help make sure that we can provide really top-notch care for the over 160 chimpanzees that are in our care at our Chimpunga Chimpanzee Rehabilitation Center and Sanctuary in the Republic of Congo. So that's how we can go from this wonderful movie that you just saw to what we're talking about this week with the MDGs and our work on sustainable development and post-2015. So I'm glad now to be here with you. I learned about great ape conservation when I was 10 from my grandmother, and it's living a dream for me to be in front of you today to talk about this movie and to take your questions. So I think we have 2 microphones on either side.
5 minutes, so invite them.
Yeah.
There's about 5 minutes, so if you have any questions or comments, the microphones or at your desk, please ask them now.
How long were the filmmakers out there in Africa, and have they ever been back to revisit what happened to Oscar?
As far as I'm aware, they haven't been back to visit. I know that it took 2 years to make the film.
Where was
So,
it filmed?
it was filmed in Cote d'Ivoire. Any other questions?
Kind of speaks for itself. Oh.
Yeah. Over here?
Hello? Okay. During all the confrontation scenes between Scar's group and Freddie's group, how did the film crew ensure their own safety? I was really curious about that.
We actually had one of our research videographers. His name was Bill Wallauer. He did research videography for the Jane Goodall Institute at Gombe Stream Research Center, where Dr. Goodall did her research, and it still continues today. So Bill was one of the directors of photography on the film, and they were actually able to, with his help, really position the camera strategically so that they could get those shots and maintain their safety. So because Bill understood chimpanzee behavior, he was able to help them set up those shots so they could get them and get really high quality ones. So, yep, right here.
When filming this, like political, any other economic, or any other problems that you faced?
I wasn't actually involved in filming the movie. I was actually really involved in helping promote it and help make it as successful as it was for JGI. I know, having spent a lot of time with Bill Wallauer afterwards, if you see the DVD and the outtakes on the DVD, there's some really interesting footage of them and the kinds of things that they faced, and in terms of being able to go to the bathroom while they were filming and experiencing all that nature had in store for them. So, and they were out there for quite a long time. So,
And are there any like smugglers that are trying to harm these animals? And did you come across any of these groups?
I'm not sure. It's absolutely an issue for chimpanzees and actually many species that people will poach them for different parts of them for different purposes, and it's absolutely a problem for chimpanzees and all of the great apes. Does that answer your question? Over here?
Hi. I was wondering, you mentioned that you reach out to youth in the areas that are affected by chimpanzees and chimpanzee conservation. What types of programs specifically do you run to bring in a new generation of conservationists?
So I'll answer that a couple of different ways. One is that the Jane Goodall Institute has staff on the ground in 4 chimpanzee range countries where there are the highest concentration of chimpanzees, and we generally work with schools and in other areas where young people are receiving some environmental education, and we really focus on holistic environmental education that talks about the integration of people, animals, and the environment in the conservation equation. And then we also have our global youth program, Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots, for which I'm a national director here in the United States. And through that program, we promote environmental service learning with students in any environment that you can imagine. So schools to churches, community centers, zoos, and museums. So really meeting young people where they're at and helping them understand the same kinds of concepts that we're promoting, that holistic people, animals, and the environment kind of conservation ethic that we're promoting in Africa, all over the world in over 130 countries. Sure. Other questions? Yep. How long is the film? I think it's like 73 minutes, something like that. The film is available online and in stores. It's not available here today, I don't think.
No, but we recently passed one of those kiosks where you could put money in and rent a movie, and one of the films on the side that were highlighted was Chimpanzee, and that was, I think, at a Stop and Shop or a ShopRite. So it's definitely available even in supermarkets. Please bring it home and show it to others. It's such a sweet movie, isn't it? Yes. Oh, hi. How you doing? Good to see you there.
Awesome. Yep. One more. How can you get more information about our organization? Very good question. 2 URLs for you: janegoodall.org, JaneGooddall.org. That's our website for the Jane Goodall Institute. And then the program that I help lead is Roots and Shoots, and our website is ROOTSANDSHOOTS.org, rootsandshoots.org.
So let's please have a great round of applause for Shawn and for the film once again. Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you again this year, during the year. Great. I'm moving along very quickly because we're trying to stay on schedule. We seem to have been behind schedule for, 3 days now. So we'll move right along into the beginning of the end by presenting our afternoon session. Once we get set up, we should be ready to roll. Give us about a minute or two, and we'll introduce the afternoon session. If you're outside, please start to come in. We're going to begin momentarily. Thank you. So the panel can come up. Those who are on the panel, please do come up so we can stay on top.